Actually, a note about the tone mapping side of it. As of extra FPS, if you're on a legacy sky, we no longer apply tone mapping. It gets turned off. Kind of going back to many of the sometimes conflicting complaints about things either being too bright or too dark, and it turned out that was just the tone mapper making people provide oftentimes conflicting feedback there. So, I mean, I guess what's the easiest way I could describe tone mapping? So, whenever you have HDR, high dynamic range, you kind of need to go through and map values that your computer monitor can't display into a displayable range. That's what tone mapping is designed to do. For the longest time, the viewer did technically have HDR, but we didn't really do anything particularly interesting with it. So we use linear tone mapping. So pretty much anything past a certain range just got cut off. With things like ACES tone mapping and neutral tone mapping, the idea is to kind of bring some of those really high values into an actual displayable range for you. And that's the basic premise behind it. It can have effects such as making things look like it was recorded like on film or, you know, other sort of mediums as well. So we just kind of went off of whatever Kronos's recommendation was for tone mapping whenever we did the initial implementation. What graphics engine we're using? I mean, we're using the Second Life graphics engine.
Yeah, our own.
Yeah, this is all our own.
OpenGL.
Oh, yeah, we're using OpenGL. For now, at least.
Linear and ACES thing has changed though, hasn't it, from to something Cronus or Chaos or something?
We give you options now in the graphics settings. One of these days we've discussed maybe making that something that can also be a part of the sky to give content creators more flexibility in terms of how they want their builds to look, their parcels to look, etc. But right now, we default to ACES, and you have the option of the Kronos neutral tone mapper. And you can also adjust the mix, so long as you have a PBR sky applied. If you have a legacy sky, these settings don't really matter right now.
So, Gaines, what's the vision for what's the vision for tone mapping going forward? What's the sort of ultimate situation that we want to be in?
So tone mapping is a highly it's a highly subjective thing. What one person thinks looks great for one scene, another person may think looks like garbage. So the only thing you can really do is provide choice or have...
Che figura di merda! Che figura di merda!